The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen. Once upon a time, there lived two poor children named Gerda and Kai. Their parents lived opposite one another, and they were great friends. All summer long, they played together happily in the sunshine. Then winter came. It was too cold to play outside. One winter's day, they sat by the stove while Kai's granny was telling them about a snow queen. She was a dangerous woman who lived in the icy north. In winter, she flew around and looked through windows, frosting up the glass. That night, Kai glanced out of his window. A few snowflakes were still falling. One flake grew bigger and bigger until it turned into a beautiful woman made of shining ice and dressed in starry snow. Kai was frightened, and suddenly she disappeared. The weather cleared the next day. Spring was just around the corner. Kai played happily with Gerda and helped her to look after her roses. Soon, many rose bushes were full of lovely flowers. One day, the children were sitting outside when Kai suddenly felt something in his eye. Gerda tried to help him, but she couldn't see anything. From that day, Kai became a different boy. He hated everything and everybody. He was cruel to all his friends, including Gerda. When winter came, Kai and Gerda didn't play anymore. He just ignored Gerda. One evening, Kai was playing in the marketplace when a large white sleigh appeared in the square. A beautiful lady dressed in white fur sat there. It was the Snow Queen. She called Kai, but this time he wasn't frightened. He jumped into her sleigh and they flew up into the sky and far away. For many days and weeks, his friends and parents looked for him everywhere. His grandmother wept, thinking Kai had drowned. Only Gerda believed that her true friend had it alive and needed her help. One spring morning, she packed some food and clothes and went to look for him. In the forest, Gerda met a kind reindeer who knew where the Snow Queen lived. She had a palace made of ice and snow in a magical country called Lapland. The strong reindeer asked Gerda to jump on his back, and they began their long journey to the kingdom of the Snow Queen. Meanwhile, poor Kai sat alone in the palace playing with pieces of ice. He was blue of ice, but he didn't feel it. His kind heart was frozen. At this moment, the brave reindeer landed outside the palace. The little girl rushed bravely into the icy magical structure. She wasn't afraid of anybody and anything, and even the Snow Queen. Inside the palace, she found Kai, who didn't recognize her at all. The little girl didn't know what to do. She was full of sorrow and burst into tears. Her warm tears dropped on her friend and melted his frozen heart. Kai burst into tears too. He cried so much that an eye splinter fell out of his eye, and Kai became a kind boy again. The kids hugged happily and rushed to the reindeer who was waiting to take them back home. You can't imagine how happy all the citizens were to see our wonderful kids. They lived happily and never cried again.